a very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for keeping it Farmers Media and for always following us and for your comments. We really appreciate. I hope you had a lovely weekend like I did. Though it was a rainy one, Jana, it rained like I don't know what after a long while, and then there was blackout. I don't know where you were. How was the weather like, first of all?
The weather was very nice. Actually, we also received some little rains, although ours is not like your place. I hear that you guys have stayed for a century without getting rains. But anyway, that is all about climate. So we're glad we're back. We were here discussing about
stories to do with bees, and I've been privileged again to have you in my show. What a lucky day. So probably introduce yourselves to our audience, those people who don't know you, who you are, and the name of your cooperative.
Oh yes, I'm Kisai Meitame, a farmer, a beekeeper from Kajiado West. I'm the chairperson of Kajiado West Beekeepers Cooperative, and I'm also the general Kajiado now Beekeepers Cooperative Union. That means I'm the chairperson of the cooperatives in the 5 sub-counties in Kajiado. And I am so passionate about what I do with keep bees.
We'll get back to you being the chair. Let's have heshima.
It's okay.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Peter Melonye from Kajiado North. I'm the chair of Kajiado North Beekeepers Association. I'm also an organic farmer from Kajiado North.
Interesting. Organic, as in, what exactly do you tell us about the kind of farming?
Yeah, thank you. The organic production is incorporates from production to the market, and in it we usually do it without harmful chemicals. Yeah, it's we want to secure or to have a safe food for our households and also for the market.
So you use vermiculture, vermicomposting, or what kind of organic is it?
Organic farming is wide, and you're saying about vermiculture and all that. And mostly what the farmers are able to do, I encourage to do it, and we do composts. Because composting is just making the soil rich so that you can be able to produce more.
So is it vegetable farming or what exactly?
Yeah, for my sake I call it GG, and it is greens and grains. So it is incorporated. In the farming you do everything because it is interrelated, and also for the animals because it produces, it eats produce the greens, and then it gives you milk and all that, and it gives the manure, so it is a correlated production.
So before when we get into this topic about beekeeping and the cooperative, first of all, you've mentioned that you are the chair of the entire cooperative. There's how many cooperatives are there? There's Kajiado North, East, South, and West, or?
There are 5 of them,
5?
Yes, like the 5 sub-counties that we have around here.
Okay.
Because we have Kajiado East, we have Kajiado North, we have Kajiado Central, we have Kajiado South, and we have Kajiado West.
Why? Okay.
Yes.
So you're very young. How did you manage to leave all these wazes and you became the general chair? It's part of the serikali.
You see nowadays inasemekana kwamba serikali ni ya mavijana. So it is my very good team that saw it wise to give me the opportunity to serve. But I'm only actually I have not been chosen because the task is easier. They just saw that for us to move on very well, can give this young person.
But you are young, very energetic and vibrant. If so, you mentioned.
I also want to incorporate youth. You know, our focus on this cooperative will largely see an opportunity for the youth to come in now and also take up their responsibility. Of course, as you can see, Peter is older than me. He's actually like a father to me, not like a father, he's a father to me, and now he's just mentoring me. So with the position, I'm always guided on a lot of things on what we are doing. But generally what we are doing is like trying now to bring in all this generational and bridge the gap that has been there. So it's not just like being given the opportunity because it is there. No? Yes.
Now when you talk about honey, hii asali ya Masai inajulikana all over, like they usually carry it kwa buckets kwa ndoo. What new thing are you bringing to the table with this new cooperative? What measures probably or the education and sensitization are you around to educate the people who have been existing in the beekeeping and the ones who are coming in, how are you trying to make that shift for even the when you're on a beba kwando?
Oh, yeah.
Tell
Very
us
well,
about
very well.
this journey of honey and beekeeping in Maasai land.
Yes, yes. Actually, I am so passionate about beekeeping because of the sole reason you're explaining. That when you go there, unasema nataka ile asali ya wale wazee wenye wanabeba bucket kwa sababu hiyo ndio asali ya ukweli. But with the time, you've seen that people now are not doing exactly what they used to do there before. Even now, sisi wa Masai pia tumekuwa na hii maneno ya town ya kupiga karata as the serikali says. So, but we are coming in now to improve on that. One, we have realized that Kajiado has the potential of producing more honey than any other place around Kenya. And not just Kenya, it is even beyond Kenya. We have a lot of bare land. And you just need that space to create and do something with this.
Yeah.
The reason as to why we're coming in also is because of the climate action. We've been keeping cows, goats and cows, and now the climate is not allowing us to do this anymore. So we're finding for a way of now giving farmers a new way of life, because as you know, a bee is a livestock. So it is categorized under that same category of the cows, the goats, and the sheep.
They're livestock.
Yeah.
No way. They're not insects.
No, a bee is not an insect. It's an animal. It's a livestock.
That one I'll have to check.
That I am so sure about what I'm telling you because I'm doing that. So we are coming in to try and improve on what we've been doing. If you have what you assume to be beehives and they don't have bees inside, that's just a box. That's not a beehive. So you need to have a beehive, take good care of it, see your bees there, then get the products that you want. And it is not only the honey. I've seen that when you hear bees, you're only focusing on honey. Bee has a lot of things that they do.
Yeah.
Actually, bees are a key component in pollination. Bees also produce what you call wax. This one that you make candles with. There's the bee venom. You've heard of like a new drug that is now has been researched and it has been confirmed that it is actually going now to cure some of the cancers. There's two types of cancer. The breast cancer and they are still finalizing on that research on the second cancer, but actually it is confirmed that now the bee venom, ikikudunga hiyo, the bee venom is a medicinal kind of thing. Actually, and also brooding, bee brooding. Unajua saa ingine maybe the bees have there's how you make a new kind of the bees from those that have been existing or moving them from one place to now putting into those hives. So those are some of the things.
That's very interesting, and I want to hear from the other chair from Kajiado North.
Yes.
He's way older than both of us,
Sure.
and he's been through the generations. How have you seen the shift from the way they used to do the beekeepers wale mbeleni kama wewe, and now how has the shift been like, and how are the young people like this one embracing it?
Thank you. The issue of bees, as you're saying, has been generational, and it has not been attractive to the young people because of the way it has been done. Nowadays, the young people have gone through college and they have been taught, some of them, on the new ways of doing apiculture. And it is a way of farming that is what you call, that doesn't involve much. And the catchment areas, by the chairman who was talking about the catchment that you do have in our Kajiado, is so vast that it allows many to be able to be incorporated in farming, and through that it is a passive kind of farming. And the issue has always been on the issue of farming, has been on the cows and goats. Now the issue of bees is coming in because of, as he said, on the issue of climate change and all that. So young people are being enticed to go into farming, and the issue of profitability of having doing more farming and producing more products so that you can be able to sell, and all that is attracting the young people. So the old are still doing it, and the new generations is taking over. Yeah.
Still on you, we've seen asali ya Masai. Generally, it's usually dark brown going to black, and sometimes people, some of the people in the towns are usually scared. Wanasema this honey probably is not pure. There's a way they adulterate it. What kind of honey is found in Kajiado County, and how do you probably go about marketing now, being a conjoined community where you're having a cooperative? What are you encouraging the farmers to do so as to attract a wider market and make their products appealing?
Thank you. But the issue about the cooperative is to bring from people of the same idea together. So we are talking about trainings. You start with the training. The Masai who wanatembeza asali and imekuwa nzuri na vile chair amesema inaweza kuwa na issues. All that need to be addressed through the training of the farmers, and bringing the issue of we have been talking of sanitizing the issue of the hand and all that. We need to do it for the honey, and also to do with issues of marketing. Market need people who are organized. Market need a clean system, and all through is the issue of the cooperative is bringing order into the issues of honey.
Just to add on what you said, well, you ask about how it comes. How comes the asali is dark?
Yes.
It depends with the trees where the bees are getting the pollen. Actually, it's a process. So there where you find the kind of pollen they get is what determines how now the color of that, and also how you harvest your honey. If you go just use the smokers, a lot of smokers again, like when you're harvesting, the smoke could have some sort of effect on your honey, and how you process it, also how you handle it. Maybe it's your the materials or the buckets and the other utensils you're using. Some of this could have some small effects on the color of that, but actually now, like you said, we are coming in to train people on how to handle that one with a lot of care. We know that from the reason as to why we have these sub-county cooperatives is first of all to identify what type of honey comes from which part of our county. He's from the highland part of Kajiado. I understand,
Now when you talk of Highland and all of us are in Highlands, now which place is higher than which one?
No, the Highlands, the only highland we have around Kajiado, I think, is Loitoktok and Kajiado North.
And Gong Hills?
That is north.
Oh, that's not.
That is not.
Okay.
Yes. So that's why I'm telling you, it comes from the highland part of Kajiado. Somehow the rest of us are coming from where we normally pray. Tunasema Mungu yenyewe fanya tu hivi, fanya jambo, tutemee kidogo. So that is how you this comes in. But true to that also, the way we are saying, there are a lot of trees we can tap in. The reason as to why we're also saying we are encouraging people to plant more trees is also now to get the quality of your honey coming to exactly conform with the rest of the honey, so that the bees do not only depend on the indigenous kind of trees, because we've not planted a lot of trees in Kajiado. There's a lot of work to be done on planting of trees, on also improving on farming activities, because the chemicals that are there in our farms, we need not to encourage people to continue using the chemicals they are using in their farms, because they have a lot of effect on the bees that we're keeping.
That brings me to the question of the weekend proposal by the Deputy President on Shamba systems. Do you think it's workable?
I think we're just bringing ourselves, we're trying to create an instant solution to a permanent problem that we've been having, and it is a permanent problem that was brought about by the same problem we are trying now to solve the issue with. Ideally, we were there before. We saw the effects of this Shamba system, the effects it has brought us. The kind of climate action we are trying to bring in right now has been caused by the same problems we are talking about. So by us going back to creating or doing the same problems or same issues, trying to find a instant solutions is not the way to go. It's good for the government to be so bold and also realistic, and also tell us the truth. Time for campaigning is over. It's now good that at least we find permanent solution to permanent problems. That way we will have a way out. It is good people are encouraged to plant trees and then to start. There are things like vertical kitchen gardens, which are very simple to create, and you will get quality food. You don't need a lot of space. For 100 plants, if you have that small vertical kitchen garden, you will have 100 plants in that vertical kitchen garden, and it will consume very small or very little water. So those are the kind of innovative ways that the government needs to be like now telling people to adopt, rather than going back to what we think you just need a lot of space to do that.
Plant in the forest.
Yes, you can even get the sack. Plant your things there, and you get food.
That's the voice of the young people. Let's
Yes.
hear from the older generation. They've been there. I think we used to have trees in Kajiado. What happened? Is it the Shamba system?
Not actually, thank you. But the Shamba system, as it was conceived those many years, used to work in plantations where you cut all the trees for timber and all that, then you re-establish the forest. And for now, people have been encouraged to grow indigenous trees. That's what you have in our forests. So mostly that has been going on. It used to establish, but it had its own issues of people cutting or uprooting the trees that were given to look after. So the issue is, as you were saying, is has issues that need to be looked at. It has its positive and its negative. People need to outweigh which one will be the positive part of it. Kajiado, as you're asking about the issues of Kajiado, trees in Kajiado. Kajiado is a savanna country. It didn't have much of the tree cover, but through forestation by peoples who have land, establishing forest in their land, it is working. So Kajiado, as being savanna, people, as my Ebo chair said, are encouraged to grow trees, and for them to have initiative. But we are discussing about tree planting what we call fruit trees. Fruit trees work in both ways. It is a tree in itself, and it gives fruits. And also it is it uses the bees for pollination issues, and it feeds the family. So it is a win-win. So we are encouraging fruit trees and the indigenous and all that, so that you can have a greater tree cover in Kajiado.
Very interesting. There are fruit trees. I believe it's a nice way of doing things. How did you come about that concept of fruit trees? Because most people would go for the indigenous trees. I don't know, there's some honey that comes out sour when they take the bees take the sourness of the pollen from the flowers. What's your take on fruit trees, and what kind of fruit trees are you pushing for?
I actually my area now, the very part of the thing that now enticed me to come to now beekeeping was fruit trees. That is what I started with. I used to plant just the normal trees like everyone does with their homes. But again, when I went by to a friend, I visited one of my friends, and when I went to his place and saw what he was doing, I was so encouraged, because it was the harvesting season for the macadamia. Actually, it's in a place in Muranga. So he doesn't do a lot of things, but he gets a lot of money from that. So when I went there, I told him, I'm gonna give you a challenge. That is 10 years ago. I used just to have like 10 trees like everyone would have, but again now I came to now to seriously focus on that, because I came to learn by you having a lot of fruit trees, you only need to take good care of them at that young stage before now they fully develop. But once they are fully developed, what you'll just be needing is just need someone who will be taking good care of them, put some manure pale kidogo, maji, and that's all. And at the end of it all, you have money. Everything goes back now. So you would have time to do other things, but you're still earning from that tree. So the benefit of now planting fruit trees is the fact that you will get money with that, and you will not have a lot of hassle like in taking good care of them. Yes.
Very interesting. Now coming
And
back to
there was a question you asked on what exactly has caused the problem in Kajiado. There's a lot of charcoal burning in Kajiado.
Really?
Yes, and I can categorically say that from like an experience I'm having, even from my own place where I'm coming from. You would see, like in a day, you would see 10 or 30 motorbikes passing by carrying 3 sacks each and every day, and you know that tells you that a lot of trees are being cut for that to happen. So there's a lot that needs to be done by the government now to completely ban the activities of charcoal burning, because actually now I learned that we've started exporting charcoal. There are people who are exporting, yes. It's not even now being locally consumed. And that is very dangerous.
Yes, but we are complaining of the effects of climate change.
Yes, yes.
But then that's a topic for another day.
Sure.
Because charcoal burning, in some parts is illegal. So we might people might come to the studio and ask us, give us the evidence, is the charcoal being burned.
Yes.
But then coming back to the cooperative, tell us now the whole concept of this cooperative. Why are you pushing for probably the young people to join a cooperative? What are the benefits of joining the cooperative, and what are some of the requirements that someone needs to join your cooperative? I'll start with Mose, because you are the chair, the final speaker.
Very well.
Thank you. The issue of farming and the young people, as we said earlier, is it has been a challenge to bring the young people to do farming. And as we said, young people have realized that farming, through the apiary farming, is passive. And also to comment on the issue of the chair, the issue of tree farming is also passive. So young people like more time on their side, so they will be encouraged to do issues to do with bees and the issue to do with fruit trees. And for that, the bottom line is issues of earning. We want them to earn. And the criteria for them to join is the issues of having a bee, one beehive. And through that, we, as my able chair was commenting on the issues of bee product that we do have, is a lot of variety, and young people can be able to market, and even from other areas, and be able to earn. So it is a broad area that need to incorporate the young people, the old, and the community. And as we said, the issue of climate change is real in our Kajiado, the Asal area, and things are not working. So, but the bee is resilient, and it is working. We still earn, or still produce the bee, the honey, even if the place is dry. So it is just a paradigm shift from what they knew to what is new, so that they can still be able to survive. Yeah.
How easy or hard is it to have a youth like you join a cooperative? Because we know most of the cooperatives, we had people dealing with the coffee, tea, joining cooperatives, and most of them fell. So how easy or hard is it, first of all, to manage a cooperative as the chair and having young people to join such a cooperative?
Well, it's not an easy task, but I'm glad of the team I have. Actually, if there is one good team, it is the team I'm working with. I'll find one of these fine days, you'll come and find the team. At least you talk to them and you'll see them. The reason as to why we are saying the youth should be at the forefront in championing for such activities like beekeeping and also fruit tree farming is simply because there is no more sort of like white collar jobs that are out there that you would need to be waiting all the time to be employed. It is the high time for the youth to understand that it is now their time to start creating employment. You should not just think of like how you will be employed, but think of how you can employ others. By you having that work, even if you have that white collar job, you can make this on your side hustle. Like, you know, the president was very categorical the other day telling us that you need to have at least a side hustle. It was the governor actually. You need to have a small side hustle somewhere where you will be earning money. Yeah, everything in this life is all about what will create some sort of improvement in your own life. If you have space, then do this. Do this because it's not only beneficial to yourself, it is also beneficial to your generation. Like for me, my kids will feed on the trees that I've planted, and I know from the sweetness of the fruits they will eat, they'll even have now the energy to plant more. As for myself, it was my father who introduced me to that planting trees at a very young age. So I've been doing this, and it is just flowing. It's not just something like which is so hard. So it is the high time for also the youth. Even if you are, I'm a graduate of BCom Finance, but I haven't taken that direction. I can't seem to be sitting down to wait for employment to come. That one will never come. I have to create a way of me getting money or earning something for my life before I get to that. But also, it is now something I'm thinking which will be full-time for me. I don't think I'm willing to be looking for an opportunity to be employed anymore. Yeah, because it's reaping, actually. The last harvest I made of avocados actually paid off for something I didn't even think. Yes.
So apart from getting training on beekeeping and getting market for their manufactured honey, what other advantages do members of the cooperative get?
There are a lot of them. We said we are educating people on what needs to be done on the hives. We are also partnering with these people so that we can process their quality honey in the right way. We are acquiring machines for processing and also branding around Kajiado honey to be like that one. You know, whenever you want to see a label and a brand kind of honey, you have to go to Kitui. That is where you will find branded honey. We visited them, we've seen what they are doing, and we believe that Kajiado has the potential of doing it. Where we're saying the cooperative way, there are a lot of brokers in between. And you cannot succeed if you're not one, and you're united, and you must be aiming on the same issue, or on the same goal. Other thing, we will also be creating partnerships with other people. If a farmer has space, if a farmer is encouraged to do beekeeping, and he has maybe something little, and he has savings in his account, this will mean that from your savings we can acquire these equipments and be giving you at a lower price, and also giving you a way of like acquiring these things at a cheaper price. Or if you don't have the money, then maybe we will find for partnership with these people who are producing these equipments, and you'll be getting them, then you're paying off. Yes, so these are the kind of things we are coming on board to do. Yes.
So ever since you guys started, how many members do you have currently in the cooperative? Take us through the journey. How was the changing of mindset for the older generation been like for them to be able to move from livestock keeping now to apiculture? I know you've talked about the issue of climate change, but there are some of those Maasais who I usually talk to, and they're like, no, hata zikukufa tu hiyo mwaka ingine najua mvua itanyesha na nitaendelea kuweka ng'ombe. So how many members do you have, and how has it been like changing the mindset, especially for the older generation?
Thank you. They usually say if you don't change, change will change you. And through that, people are realizing that the issue of livestock is really hard, and it is really pushing people to the periphery of extinction. So we have the issue of people changing to the issue of apiary, the bees, because they said the issue of being resilient will be able to survive, and will be able, when you sell the product that it's producing, will be able to survive. And as per number, we are working on numbers for the sub-counties. We have about from each sub-county, numbers are growing from 50 and above. We are working on it so that people can really appreciate the issue of a cooperative. And as I said, cooperative is pulling together. So the small thing that you do have, the 1 kg that you are producing, somebody else is producing 10, and the next. So when you bring together, you'll be able to source and to grade, to have a market for it, and be able to look for more markets. Unlike when you are one and you are just having a kg. So it is pulling your resources together so that you can be able to attack the market and be able to supply with the demand that is there when given. Yeah.
How has it been like for the older generation to change their mindset? Because there are some who are still stuck on livestock keeping.
Yeah, and to change, they usually say you don't train an old dog. New tricks.
Yeah.
And though the bottom line is all about land. Land is all owned by the old people. So the young people don't have their own land. So the old people, as you're saying, even if they're changing slowly, they're seeing the need and the importance of having new ways of producing bees. So it is a generation change. And through that, seeing what the young people are doing and adapting. And actually, they are financiers, because young people will not be having the land plus the money, but they may have the idea. So when you are financing a young person to go to Langtro or the other types of maybe Kenyan Tobo hive and the other types of hives, through that you are able to have yours. So they are changed, they are forced by the nature of their own way, and also seeing generations of losing animals. And through the change from the animals to the bees and bringing, because they still have they have children to bring about. If you are unable to pay fees for your children, and yet somebody else is telling you that they have been, from last season they made this much, you are able to change and be able to see the importance of having bees, incorporating into the cows and the goats and all that, so that they can be able to bring you more income.
Yeah. Which gender is more preferably associated with beekeeping in the Maasai culture?
Beekeeping has some sort of like cultural aspect on it, where in Maasai land actually it is the men most of the time who are assumed to be the ones who should be doing that. But you see, with the time, a lot of things have changed. We've come to realize that there are cultural practices that we have which don't help us. And it is now that we are realizing that when we come together as a family, whatever that we're doing and it is creating income for us is good for us. As long as we are not eradicating the cultural way, but also now trying to improve on what we have, and also cutting short what is not important to us. So it is the men who are supposed to do that, but for now everyone can do it. And beekeeping is an easy activity. It is not a complicated thing. So I would say, like, you wouldn't say like there's a preferred gender to do this. Everyone can do beekeeping.
But are the Maasai women embracing the idea of beekeeping?
Yes, they are. Actually, there is this organization, there's a project, it was called KSAP. I saw it. It has given women in my local village, women group, that have been given beehives, and they're doing really good. Yes.
As much as you're trying to make beekeeping look something like a lucrative job where you don't have any challenges, you just place the hives there and wait for manna to fall from heaven, what are some of the challenges that you can say you've faced as a bee farmer?
Of course, there are a lot of challenges in this life. As long as you have an opportunity, there must be a challenge for you that is there for you. One, there are insects that attack bees. There are creatures which look like bees, which are not bees, and they attack the bees the most. We also have things like honey badgers which would invade your hives and also steal your hives.
Okay, come slowly, because you know those terminologies you're using. Some of us are not used to them.
Yes.
Okay.
So the honey badger.
How does the honey badger look like?
It's an animal with a long tongue that normally comes and feed on the honey.
It's an insect-like?
Nope.
It looks like...
No, it's how do I call it in Swahili?
Say it in Kimasai, they'll understand.
Do I even know the name in Kimasai?
Yeah, maybe helping my friend there is the honey badger is like a cat, a wild cat. Yes.
Move closer to the mic.
Yeah, it's sort of
like a cat.
Yes, and it has a long.
I'm trying to imagine. Yes. I wish my director had a picture of the honey badger to show.
We will have it, maybe. So, and they also, even people are stealing honey.
What?
Yes, people would invade your hives and steal. They know that, and they even steal those. They would even steal the hives themselves. So and what we are talking about, the cartels, these people who are waiting for the honey to be brought by people, they are buying it at very low prices, but they're selling it at very high prices. So these are the challenges we have, and we are bringing in this aspect of having the cooperative to come in and try and bridge some of this. There are those ones you will need to do it yourself, like fencing somewhere little for you can create maybe a house where you'll be keeping your beehives. This one will protect it from external attacks. So such measures are there for you to think and also do them for improvement of your hive or apiary.
How do you deal with the challenges on your farm, and even as you conduct the trainings, probably how do you educate the incoming farmers or the upcoming bee farmers on the way of creating their hives? Because most of them know you just place your hive probably on a tree, or even the modern ones, but you don't need to create the house like you mentioned. So what kind of training are you giving to the upcoming farmers?
Thank you. The issue of bee and the security, maybe people may think that the bees will be able to attack the intruders and all that, but the issue of security for bees is paramount, and you're saying as you start, you need to know your environment where you are, because the bees, as they are dangerous. You not live or keep them in a populated area. So for it to be able to survive, you have to be able to know your area, but the tree covers, maybe the need of fencing that you require from there. Also, the apiary, you can be able to construct a small area for them. So it is a starting point. We call it a starter, learning of what is a bee, and from there, what does it require, the area, the coverage, and all that. So it is for a starter tool for you to be able to start farming from the knowledge way, from the known to the other world. And like before that, you just did, you just found yourself farming. You need to learn, start from learning, so that you can be able to keep them safe and be able, because it is also a two-way. It is your safety, your family, and the community. So the bees, as you're saying, is a venture, but a venture that need to be done in a well thought area. Yeah.
Just to drift away a bit from the conversation you're having about beekeeping, let's look at some of the stories. And I'm seeing the Nairobi International Trade Fair has started today. Are you guys exhibiting at the trade fair? And are you taking part?
This year we're not taking part, but be sure that any other show that is coming up from, not necessarily the Nairobi show, because there are also a lot of trade fair shows that normally carried out across the country. We will be taking part in them going forward. But for this one, we're just going to be participants who are just going to learn also from the other farmers who are coming in. But as from next year, we will be there. Yes.
But do you think these showgrounds and exhibitions really have an impact on this generation? That I am seeing our director is working on putting the honey badger. I think I've seen that animal somewhere. It doesn't only attack the bees, it also eats the chicken. And
yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was asking about the impact of these showgrounds. Do you think the message that these showgrounds and exhibitions have usually meet the target audience?
I think yes. To me, yes. And I would say yes, because when you go there, you'll meet other farmers and learn of what they are doing and how they are doing it differently for them to increase on their productivity. I have been there not once, not twice, and I have never get bored on going to learn from there. So, and I think most of the people also who are taking part in this are also enjoying that. But I think we still need a lot of sort of encouraging people to take part in these activities, because there is where you learn things firsthand.
Yeah.
if it is those who are doing dairy cattle, they will learn of what you need to do for your cows, and a lot of things. There's a lot to be learned from these trade fairs.
What's your take on the trade fairs?
Trade fairs.
Or probably I'm the one who's not, because I used to go to the trade fairs when I was very little, and then I used to love going to the showground because of the merry-go-round. The leo kona kichwa nusu. I wouldn't be interested. Probably, do they meet the target audience, or it's the way the information is relayed out to the public that doesn't get to the target audience?
First of all, to appreciate the trade fairs, and as my able chairman said, I've been in trade fairs for long, and I've realized for myself, because Nairobi trade fair is just but a drop, but you require that drop to make the ocean of knowledge that we share.
Yeah. And
the knowledge that the few people, as you may say, who have that knowledge, who goes and find that knowledge to be useful, usually have ripple effect, because they may go and train others on how to do. And also the issue of networking. So the trade fair may not, as you're asking about the scope or the people who will be targeted, it may not be able to meet all that, but it has its effect, and that effect has been well received for many years. And through now, like this talk that you're having, many people will realize that today the show start today, and from there they make a point of moving. The attraction, the merry-go-rounds and all that have been good. The children go there for all that, but later on you realize that wow, I can learn something else. So through all that, it's maybe call it a window, but it will turn somebody's door, and they will be able to learn.
We were talking about some of the challenges that the farmers face, and I'm seeing my director has found a picture of the honey. Is it honey burger or honey badger? Honey badger. And still talking about these challenges, you've mentioned, bees are livestock, and right now we are in the middle of a crisis where there's the issues to do with climate change. Kajiado is on the alert. How are bees adapting to these changes of climate? And would you say honeybees are resilient?
Well, bees are just like the rest of the livestock or the rest of the animals.
Yeah, my director is also putting some of the pictures on the screen on the challenges, and probably you could just mention some of these challenges before when we get to the issue of resilience. These challenges about people stealing the hives, destroying the hives, and just mention those challenges again.
Yes, I said earlier that there are quite a number of challenges. There's the challenges of people stealing hives. There's the challenge of people stealing the honey in the hives. There's the challenge of the honey badgers and other insects that attack the bees.
Insects such as?
They are actually they are kind of insect that look like the bee. I don't remember the name very well, but I think it is like a bee on its own, but it attacks the bee. It stings here and kills them.
So a bee is stung by another.
Yes, there is another insect that kills the bee.
They just sting each other.
Yes, and also the use of pesticide and insecticides in our farms also has a lot of effect on bees. We also have the challenge of what we are talking about, the way people are cutting down trees. You know, that's a challenge because there is where the bees get the pollen. So if we don't have these trees, now again we have a challenge on what we need for the bees. So like I was telling you, the bees are also experiencing what we're experiencing, like people, and also the rest of the animals, because there is no pollen anymore. They have been sucking the honey they made way back. Like I told you last week, the production of our honey has gone down. So for now, what we're doing, maybe to find for them something to eat, or to survive until it rains, we make we make sugar. We make like a concoction of sugar and water for them to be sucking from there and making, just eating that
Survival.
as food, yeah, until it rains.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's that serious.
Yes.
My director is telling me the honey badger that's on the screen is one of the notorious, how will I call it now?
Notorious.
Prey that attacks the honey bees.
Yes.
Probably tell us your experience with the honey badger. Have they ever come to your farm, and what has your experience been like?
The honey badger, as you are saying, is a great enemy to the farmers through the destruction of the beehives and all that. So it's really terrible when you find yourself your apiary ransacked. We may think it's an army of so many animals, but only to realize that it is only one. So it is really terrible, and it brings farmer to the bottom line now, to a starting point. And imagine that you have been working on a loan, you have taken a loan to have your apiary and all that. But it is a rare occurrence, and most of it, the worst badger is a person, not actually the animal. The animals are not everywhere,
Sure.
but the people are everywhere. Yeah.
Wow. So even beekeeping has challenges.
It does.
I thought bees sting, so like nobody can even dare to go next to the hives.
No. They also experience that. You know, when you're talking of like human beings now, like coming to harvest the honey, maybe stealing. Not the same way you do it yourself is the way the thief will also do. So it's just a normal human being like you doing exactly what you're doing. But most of these things are done at night because the bees are not very active at night. So, but we are trying to formulate even county policies that will protect our farmers. This is why we need a cooperative. Actually, one of the mandate of this cooperative will also be ensuring that we create policies that are going to be protecting and also like going to encourage beekeepers on various issues. Yes.
That's very interesting. Now, what kinds of hive is best for the beehives here in Kajiado? Which hives are you probably encouraging your farmers to use in their beekeeping ventures? Talk about the maintenance and how should they be placed?
It depends with your pocket, and also different beehives for different purposes. If someone wants to focus on getting the wax, the traditional log hives are very nice for making the wax. And also the other ones, it's easier to manage the Langston, but they are quite expensive. So if you have an opportunity of getting the traditional log hives, if that is what you have, it will still give you the honey you want. As long as you manage it well, you have your good clean water for your bees around where the hives are, you will always get your honey. Yes.
Which one would you advocate?
Both, as we have come to learn that when you are dealing with products of bees, people require different kinds of honey. We have comb honey that is really you can be able to harvest from the modern kind of beehive. And the bottom line or the learning or the secret of the issue of the traditional one is just about queen separator. You don't let the queen lay eggs everywhere. So when you have a queen excluder, you find that you'll be able to have a component of the harvest. You can be able to harvest your honey that is not mixed with the brood because of just queen excluder. So we advocate for both, because some places you'll not be able just to do with thankful, but you can be able to incorporate yours, because as the chair was saying, you're required to have some of the products like wax, like comb honey and all that will not be produced from the other kinds of beehives.
But there's a comment I saw, one of your members called Noah Nasiali had posted a picture where he was holding a big log and he was saying the log one produces more honey as compared to the modern Langstroth and Top Bar.
That is what
What's
he
your
talk
take?
about the company. That is what he explained.
It's called the comb honey.
Yes.
Hey, I've learned a new thing today.
Yes.
So as we come to a conclusion of today's interview, probably talk to people in Kajiado here, young people, even the older people, women especially, on why they need to start take up beekeeping as a farming venture, and talk to the youth.
Very well. To my fellow youth, this is your opportunity now to tap. You come in and now learn how to make money. Don't still continue depending on your parents. You can have a side hustle of beekeeping. Even if you're in school, at least once or twice a month, I know you go home, and this is something you can just be doing as a hobby. Learn to do a few things for yourself. And if you procure one, you'll be getting some pocket money for yourself back at school. Because if a kg of honey goes for close to 1,000 shillings, so you can imagine if you're harvesting 20 kgs in 3 months, you have 20 kgs. So you will not need to depend on your parents for such things. And for the rest of the farmers, I'll encourage you to have at least a few hives within your farm. Bees are not so harming. The people fear the bees very much, but if you keep them well, they're just like the rest of your animals. How you tame them is exactly how they'll behave. So the bees are also friendly when you decide to take good care of them. So it is good that we take up the opportunity of beekeeping and also ensure that we produce more honey in our places. We can also now take advantage of the fact that we've realized that the bee venom is a medicinal component that is used in making medicine for cancer, and actually become a pioneer in supplying the people who will be producing this. So it is all about seeing an opportunity, you tap on it, and you go forward.
You're good to go.
Yes.
You've talked about bees being friendly, and I remember the story I saw when the queen passed, and there's someone who went to talk to her bees.
Oh,
the queen had passed away. To me, that was madness.
No, it wasn't.
What are your thoughts, final thoughts? I'm told you're running out of time. On people tapping into the beekeeping business and joining cooperatives as a way of having a way of detecting even the prices of the honey that comes out.
Well, thank you. They will just comment on the youth. The issue of beekeeping doesn't require an inheritance from your father. You can, or your parent. You can be able to do it in the land, and you can be able to be profitable and be able to have you meet your needs. And to the older people, as you're saying, but the issue of climate change is real, and they need to embrace the issue of change, and the issue of Maas Island being dormant for now, the issue of bees not they not being taken serious and need to be can be changed through the cooperative. People coming together, learning from each other, having benchmarking trips and all that. And from there, you can be, when you come together, you'll be able to market your honey. You'll be able to create market. You'll be able to create employment for the youth, and for the people who are really looking at Kajiado as a sleeping giant, will be able to wake up and be able to feed these people through honey.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for making time. We've been here since morning, and we are now getting into the evening. Thank you so much for making time to join us and to have this discussion about the role of cooperatives in various ventures, not just beekeeping, because I know you have other kinds of farming, but you're pushing for the joining of farmers into cooperatives.
Sure.
Thank you so much, and we hope to have you some other time. You can also invite us to one of your trainings, your visits, when you're visiting the farmers to find out what they're doing. You can also invite us one of these days, at least to particular Sally.
Thank you so much. I'm going to invite you to my farm. At least we do a show there. Yes. Instead of just sitting in the studio, at least we explain first and
far away from the bees, though.
No. You'll have to at least to have a sting for you to eat honey, so that you know how painful it is to get that honey. Anyway, thank you so much for hosting us. Be sure that we'll be back again.
I told you, you need to give thanks to some people who are also sponsoring sponsoring the cooperatives,
Oh,
the
yeah, sure.
partners, and the county government. But you've not talked about the county government, how it has.
I'm so sorry about this. The formation of the cooperative has largely been supported by our county government through Madam Waziri Jacqueline Cohen. Thank you so much, Madam Waziri. And I also want to thank WWF Worldwide Fund. They have also been supporting us in now creating this cooperative. The State Department on Apiculture has also been very good. They has been very supportive to us. They have even given us equipment, some of these equipments that we are going to give to our farmers. And also want to thank the APK, Apiculture Platform of Kenya, for also supporting us in this journey. As we continue to go forward, we're looking for more partners, and also we shall also be going to support our farmers through the support they've been offering us. So thank you so much.
Final thoughts?
Yeah, thank you. As final thought, Kajiado is a great county. It's sleeping giant on the issue of bees. And through help from other organizations that are there, and they are giving us a hand, we'll appreciate that, so that we can be able to take our place in honey production. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. And that has been a Farmers Live, where we've been talking about the role of cooperatives in beekeeping. And we've talked a lot of so many things. I didn't know there was actually a honey badger and the insects that challenge the honey bees when they're producing the honey. So today I've learned something new, and I've also got to learn that bees are actually livestock and not insects. That's something interesting that I'll actually go and research and find out how come they're livestock. And that has been the Farmers Live show with me, Jackie Mo. See you some other time as we discuss more stories to do with agriculture. Goodbye for now.